Hello, welcome friend, my name is Annika, and today I'm not sure really if this will work, but I will try and see if we can record the making of these ACOs. These are for the April ETC It Up with Friends that I'm doing over on Instagram with a really great art community. I don't really know exactly how this will turn out, but I will try. But I thought I would show you some of the sketches I made and talk a little bit about the difference. So this one is inspired by this, but as you might see or not, it's actually a little bit different than the sketch. Instead of having some kind of gun, she's got a spyglass and a mechanical bird instead. And I just couldn't get her face the same, and so I just got some inspiration from this one instead. And yeah, so that was the inspiration for that. Then we have and you'll be seeing everything in this when I get around to the sketchbook video, but I'm just showing you some of the things. So here we have both of these two. We have this one and then this one, which both of them you might not even see that well, but she's holding some kind of mechanical heart with a lot of cogs and things in the background. It's not the most original idea, but I am really struggling right now with art, so sometimes you kind of just had to go a little bit easier on yourself just to get yourself going. So that's why I'm going with a more simple approach on this one. And for this, I kind of really like the idea of having someone standing here waiting for airship. But I don't know how it will turn out in the end. But I have some high hopes for this, and some changes was made to the airship stop. I'm thinking there would be some kind of a lamp to indicate either that someone is waiting or that it's next up or something like that. That would be a neat thing, I thought. So this one will probably be watercolors. This one is, I'm pretty sure I'm going to color with Copics, and this is also going to be a Copic drawing, but I think I might add a lot of colored pencils to it. But yeah, and we're supposed to draw 3 ACO cards, and these are those, but Pepkins or Tabitha is hosting the event. We often do a host gift for her. This time I don't really know what I should be doing. I have a backup plan if this takes me a little longer, but she's getting something. But these are for the trade event itself, and if you want to learn more about everything about this, you should head over to pepkins.com, and I will have a link in the description, and read more about the event. I believe next month, May, theme is Art Nouveau. Art, is it? I can't, Art Nouveau. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I will probably have the writing on the screen. Yeah, and steampunk can be so many things, but yeah, I like the aesthetic of it. So, and I do really like the little top hats with poofy dresses and corsets. I really like the aesthetic, and I'm really dreading the cogs and things, the mechanical things of these, because I'm not really good with objects like that. I'm more into organic shapes and such. But yes, it will be fun. So I should probably get started. So let's go. So I started with this one, and as I suspected, I had a little trouble with the cogs and things. I should have put more effort into planning out and using guides and such as round objects as guides and so on. I kind of did, but I didn't find anything that was small enough. So yeah, and I lined it, the character itself with my Pentel pocket brush, and the background cogs and things are with the Micron liner in, I believe it's Sepia. And then I went on to inking this one, which I ended up not filming the coloring part of, but I will talk more about that later on. I inked it with my dip pen and Steadler and Rowney acrylic inks, and yeah, I'm not used to the dip pen, so it turned out to be disastrous in the end, but I will talk about that later. And this last one I inked with my Pentel pocket brush, and I even used some Steadler fineliners for some final little touches here and there, but it was pretty straightforward. But back to me again, and I'll talk a little about this. So here we have the finished line work. It didn't really go as smoothly. You can tell that I haven't been drawing for a while, so it shows in the line work, I think, but I think it's good enough. So, and this is actually what I can do at the moment, so I need to be happy with that, but if you are creative, you know that it's sometimes difficult to be nice to yourself. So there are a lot of things I could have improved with the line work, but this is what we're getting right now, and I hope whoever gets it in the swap will enjoy them. So now let's continue with the coloring, trying to figure out what kind of colors I want, because I don't really know that at the moment, but we'll soon find out. As I mentioned before, I knew that I wanted to color this with Copics, and that's what I did. But I also used some colored pencils as well as one of the Finetec Gold colors. I can't remember which of the colors I used, but I used one of those on the heart and some other places. I didn't really have a reason for picking the colors that I did, but there's a chunk missing because both of my batteries had died, so instead of waiting I continued on because my daughter was at daycare at the time and I knew I had a limited time to do this, so I ended up just filming 2 of the 3 I showed in the beginning, and as I mentioned before, the air stop one was the one that I didn't film because, I knew that it would be a little bit difficult because as I mentioned, I only managed to do those 2 during the time that she was away, but then I could have filmed it during the night when I did color it, but I wanted the daylight, and because watercolors you need to let layers dry, it's sometimes hard to remember to hit record, so that's why I ended up not filming it. And I think it was a good call because I had a very severe accident on that one, but I managed to save it, luckily. I think I did at least. But I was doing the final touches, I thought, and I wanted to add some more thicker line with the dip pen and ink, and I got a big blob of ink all over her face, so I was very near tears, and I was very angry with myself for not being more careful, because I know that you can get ink blobs, but yeah, I was stupid and that happened. But instead of just throwing it away, I thought, well, it's already ruined, I might as well try to see if I can save it or at least learn something about it. So the hardest part was because her face had been blobbed. It was very difficult to get the light again back into it. So I used white gouache and I used some white color pencils and other things to kind of build up. But I also darkened the background and made it look like smog, I think. Yeah. So it had a more atmospheric look to it, and I will probably have because I took a photo of it before the night before where I ended, and then I'll show you the end result of that one. But we're skipping this one, and this one I colored with Copics, as I also thought I would. But I also used a lot of colored pencils to brighten up the image, as well as some of the Finetec Gold on this one as well. So it shimmers in the light, and yeah, I believe they turned out okay in the end. But as mentioned, I was really heartbroken when the blob incident happened, but I managed to sort of save it, so that's really nice. And before I forget, I want to mention that ATC stands for Artist Trading Card, and those are 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch. They are also called ACOs. When you're selling them, that's what they are called often. Then it stands for Art Card, Edition and Original. I just wanted to mention that because if you don't know, then it could be confusing, but now you know. Yeah, I will be sending this off to Tabitha for her to do her magic. I'm really excited to see what I get in return, because that's the very fun part of this, being a part of this event. It's seeing all the creative people, what they're thinking, and getting some cards in return. I really love seeing my collection grow, and yeah, next week will be a very special video going up if all goes well, so be on the lookout for that. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any videos. And I guess all that's left is to say thanks for watching. Hej då!